Okay, so one thing that the One Ring is doing to this format is making a lot of new decks possible. The protection that it brings, in addition to the card draw, at the expense of life, has been really refreshing in terms of new deck archetypes. The last one that I played for you guys was a version of an artifact-based storm deck, and I've done a little bit of, not really refining, I think that's the wrong word, but I've been trying to see what else we can do with that sort of deck type. And what I've come up with today is a really cool. It's almost Simic land destruction, which in historic, if you're at all familiar with the format, you know that deck generally is red green, but I found a way to do it in kind of like this interesting blue green way. If you take a quick look at the deck, obviously the blue is not really for the land destruction, but we're doing green land destruction in a slightly different way. And the way that we're doing it is with this card, Haywire Might. This is a pretty interesting one that basically is... It's removal for anything that's not a creature, which is pretty cool. It's a 1-mana 1/2, which is already pretty good, that on death gains you 3 life, but it has an activated ability to sack it for 1 green to exile a non-creature artifact or non-creature enchantment. So... the astute among you might realize that Liquid Metal Coating plus Haywire Might is a land destruction in a... it's a land destruction on a stick. On a stick being the reference that people use to kind of say that this is a longer way of going about it. But, this is land destruction, basically. You can Liquid Metal Coating a land and then kill it with Haywire Might. You can also kill pretty much anything that's not a creature, though, with Haywire Might, which is cool. So, this is... Well, it's basically anything that becomes an artifact. So anything that Liquid Metal Coating could make an artifact. Planeswalker, enchantment, other artifacts. These are all removable with Haywire Might. Pretty cool. And then the real kicker here that I'm taking from the last deck is that Emery is going to be a thing that allows you to reuse your Haywire Mights from the graveyard. So this is actually land destruction in the same way that Karn is a land destruction every turn with Liquid Metal Coating. So in this deck, we have Karn plus Liquid Metal Coating, we have Liquid Metal Coating plus Haywire Might as a 1-of land destruction, and we have Emery, Liquid Metal, and Haywire as recurring land destruction. But that's not all. You see, because with a Liquid Metal Coating out, a Outland Liberator is another creature that can destroy artifacts or enchantments. And when it flips into Frenzied Trapbreaker, it can actually do that whenever it attacks. So this is another angle of repeatable artifact destruction, land destruction, or other permanent destruction if you have Liquid Metal Coating out. It's really cool, and this also shines in the artifact mirror because you have just so much artifact hate. Another thing that is good about this deck is that Haywire Might is a huge silver bullet to the One Ring. And the One Ring has just been so strong, in my opinion. A lot of people say that it's pretty strong in Historic in general. I think that the decks that I've played have been really strong with it, and that it's benefited a lot of decks. But, it's indestructible, so you can't really deal with it. Well, now you can use a Haywire Might. I ran into a deck running these a while ago while I was on the One Ring, and I was like, there's actually a way to deal with this thing. I was honestly surprised. So, that whole land destruction package is a thing that we can do. It's really notable that Haywire Might is able to reuse our life. It's able to keep us gaining life because the One Ring, its one drawback is that you just basically die if you use it too much. Well, not if you have a Haywire Might. You can actually do pretty well with this thing. And eventually that means that your Emery will be able to start looping One Rings. You'll be able to loop Haywire Mights. You'll be able to draw out. You'll be able to shut down your opponent. It'll be good. And then the other thing is that we are a Paradox Engine deck. We can start going out and just drawing a bunch of things with the One Ring. This is a repeatable thing with Emery, Haywire Might, so you can start exiling your opponent's board if you untap Liquid Metal, Emery, and then start casting your Haywire Mights out of the graveyard. This is going to, of course, assume that you have enough green mana in order to recast and reuse the Haywire Mights. So there's a bit of a limitation there, but, it's pretty good. I think we'll be just happy enough with it. So let's see, what else is to talk about this deck? We are Retrofitter plus Ornithopter. That's a thing that we can do. And then we are also a Mox Amber deck to deal with our Emrys, so that's basically a recurable blue mana source for us. A lot of overlaid things in this deck. I think that this is a pretty fun new take on this sort of Artifact One Ring Emry deck, and I'm really excited to see where it goes. I've played a lot of games with this one. This has been a brew of my own, and it's just kind of been a passion project as of late here. So I would highly recommend that you guys try this archetype out. I kind of want to see it if there's something to build on from here, and you know, if the community can figure it out, maybe we'll have something fun to play here soon. Let's refine this thing, see what we can do with it. But for the time being, I'm going to hop into some games, and we're going to see if we can smash some lands. Here we go. Alright, as we hop into round 1, a quick reminder to drop a like on the video if you want to support the channel, and to subscribe if you're new for historic content every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Okay, so let's see what we got here. We have Fading Hope to remove something, Metallic Rebuke that's not initially online, and Outland Liberator as just essentially a vanilla 2-2 right now. If we do get to our Karn, we can find something that makes Outland Liberator pretty good, so I think I'm going to give it a try. Metallic Rebuke doesn't come on for quite a while now, but we do draw a Liquid Metal Coating off the rip. Opponent shows World Tree, which definitely makes Liquid Metal Coating seem exciting. I think I will lead on the Outland Liberator. That means I can play Liquid Metal and or Haywire Might. Elspeth's Nightmare deals with my Outland Liberator, that's okay. And we're going to lose things from our hand here pretty soon, so I got to decide what I want to play. Probably just Liquid Metal Haywire Might. So we can deal with their Elspeth's Nightmare, which is going to exile my graveyard. Don't really care too much about that. They can take Rebuke or Karn, I think are our strongest holds right now that they might care about. You could petition for Retrofitter, but interesting, it's Metallic Rebuke. So that means that this is probably some sort of control deck, and we might want to think about trying to get going some other way. So let's move in and attack. We can drop a Retrofitter Foundry out. We can take a land at any time. World Tree does not turn on yet, so taking out Darkboard does get them off of black mana. Green takes them off of green. I'm thinking that I might just Haywire Might. I'm going to Haywire Might and take their World Tree out. Oh, sorry, whoops. I need to Liquid Metal first. Oh! And they don't like their lands being targeted. I think that our opponent took a rickety hand, and it seemed to have hinged on green mana, so that's pretty good for us. I guess I'll leave this one in because a lot of the games are going to be non-games if I get my coding lock on, and, you know, a win's a win. Let's move on to round 2 and see if we can keep on going with this deck. Okay, round 2. This is a very land-light hand. I can't take this, but I really want to. Like, if I draw a single land, this hand is goated. But if not, we're going to have problems. If I had an Emry in this hand, I would take it, though, because I could Breeding Pool, Ornithopter, Mox, Amber, and then cast Emry on turn 1. That would have been nuts, actually. Wow. So, yeah, I think this one's a mulligan. The longer I look at it, the more I want to keep it, but I'm going to chuck that one back. We'll keep 6, dropping off a Karn. We can, if they're on multicolored, we can deal with a land. If they are just a creature-based deck, then we can probably deal with a problem creature. Oh, actually, no, we can't. We can't deal with a creature. This will have to take a land, probably. But at least it will prolong our life total. Okay, so they just plains and go. There's a Haywire Might. Enjoy. go for Portable Hole on my Haywire Mite. That's a interesting one because I can just get it back. Let's see. If I play it like this and just play another Haywire Mite, my turn 3 will be 3 mana, so I can play Liquid Metal and activate Haywire Mite. Giada. I'm interested with why they're playing Giada and Portable Hole in the same deck. This must be Angels with like a little bit of white removal. So this is Liquid Metal Coating into Emery. I have a Mox Amber here and a 1 ring, which is good. If Emery sticks around, this is potential for 1 ring loop, which is going to be good against Angels. They may or may not be scared of my Liquid Metal Coating. They'll be worse off if I just get a Karn down next turn. Righteous Valkyrie, I do not like that card. So, Mox Amber. I can play Karn now. Could also just 1 ring, potentially. So now Karn minus is bad, or sorry, Karn plus is the only thing that keeps them alive. Potentially I can get them off of all of their lands. I'm gonna attempt this. Whoop, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Liquid Metal first. What am I doing? Alright. So we'll strip a land. And now I gotta decide what I'm playing out of here. I can Ornithopter and keep Karn alive, actually, which is huge. Love to see that. Here's Ornithopter, and then we'll do Shocked Breeding Pool. We can take out a Portable Hole, potentially. I will not attack, and we will pass. The Ornithopter loop is going to actually be amazing for me. This gives us so much room to work with. Okay, so they move to combat. Let's see what it is. I assume they just can't play a spell right now. Okay, so we'll wait till after blockers. We'll block like this. And what happens now, I think I just exile Portable Hole, get my creature back, gain some life. Love to see it. Karn's at 4. I am going to Emery. Probably just get back an Ornithopter. We need to block. That means that if Karn minuses, he dies, so I'll just kill another Plains. Karn plus. Alright, so now their board is all that they have. We will not bother to attack. And let's take a look at what we can do. Next turn is probably just bring back a 1 ring if they kill Karn. If not, then it doesn't matter. I'll probably just Karn minus and let Karn die. Oh, he'll actually be alive still somehow. Okay, sure. We'll just take this. Wow, okay, and that was enough. So I want to still do the exercise of how I would play out the rest of this game as soon as all this stuff clears. So Karn is on 3 loyalty. I minus him. I probably get 1 ring out of the sideboard, and then it's just 1 ring loop with Emery until I find another Karn, and then I continue to Karn lock their lands. But yeah, I think we had this opponent just completely locked down. That's amazing. Great lock out of this deck. I'm happy to see that happen. Anyway, that was our round 2. We succeeded, and we're going to move on to round 3. Here we go. Round 3. Here we go. We have a Metallic Rebuke that can be cast on turn 2. And then we have Ornithopter Foundry combo. Cool. Good retrofit or Ornithopter startup. March towards perfection. Sure. So that'll be great because the boon is going to trigger on their next casted thing, and I'm just going to counter it with Metallic Rebuke. So I can attack with the creature because I have one untapped Retrofitter. If they don't do anything, then I make a creature with Retrofitter, and I've curved out still, which is great. What Phyrexian is coming down the pipeline here? Edict? Creature token. Maybe I just Metallic Rebuke this. It's like... Oh wait, no, what am I doing? I can't just make another token. Oh my god, I almost didn't see that line. That would have been so sad. Okay, so now let's get another Yavimaya out so I can bounce something and Metallic Rebuke. We'll swing in. Alright, opponent is under the gun. They gotta find a removal here. I have a blocker. Or, sorry, I have a removal spell and a thing to help my stuff get through. They're looking for a land card, potentially. This will put them up to 7. I didn't see if they played a land this turn. I think I went first. So they did play a land this turn. We'll let them have this in that case. They just let me go to my turn. Sweet. Make a servo. Hit him for 5. Let's see. How much mana do I need? Just put this in. I'll shock this in actually, because that means this is Retrofitter untap. It's Retrofitter plus Fading Hope plus Metallic Rebuke. Yeah. Alright, so no Meat Hook Massacre, no board wipe. We have to make sure they don't unsummon this. So it's just an Archfiend of the Dross. Fading Hope is 1/1 counter and Death Touch. So we'll just Fading Hope it then. Yeah, this is going to be good. Our opponent's almost dead. Move to my turn, and yeah, they see it. Okay, so we played like a prison deck in game 2, and we played like a tempo deck in turn 3, or in round 3. Lot of variation out of this deck so far. I'm really digging it. Hope you guys are too. Let's move on to round 4 and see if we can continue the fun. Alright, round 4. We have a way to get a Karn out, but other than that, this hand doesn't do much, so I'm sending it back, and this is a good one. Wow, okay, we're keeping 6, and I think we're just going for the quick Emery. No, we're going to get rid of a land. I want to keep Fading Hope around. That does protect my Emery when she eventually gets out. We do draw another land anyway, which is good. Here's Retrofitter. So we get an Emery for 1, and then we have 3 mana available. So that is Fading Hope plus Retrofitter activation. Patient 0, very cool, very cool. And this is creatures your opponents control. Alright, well, there was always going to be an Emery. Mill. We have a Retrofitter backup. We have another Mox Amber, which is good. I think I want a Haywire Might. And then this has to be Yavimaya. I probably should have played Forest for Haywire Might. It's fine, though. And we'll pass. Let Fading Hope potentially get rid of a Patient 0. Alright. Pass out. Oh, they just passed through. We take that. Another Fading Hope. We can get a second Retrofitter, maybe? Down to do that. Okay, so it looks like they have Graveyard Hate for removal for Emery, sure. Well, that's why we have our Fading Hope. Don't want another land. Now we actually get a second Emery trigger, which is great. This is even better. Emery first. And then there's a Liquid Metal Coating, which is good. We'll tap this to cast our second Retrofitter. And once again, we're holding Fading Hope. Alright, so on my next turn, I can get a Liquid Metal Coating out and start going to town. Yeah, we have Emery Loop with Haywire Might to take out their lands. Oh, okay, we're about to see why Haywire Might plus Emery is so good. They're going to draw with one ring, and we are about to exile that sucker. They draw. Okay, so will they attack? Do I want to get rid of a Patient 0? Not really. I think I'll probably just use Emery to keep things alive. No blocks. Okay, so go to my turn. Find Ornithopter. That is a blocker. We will Emery out a Liquid Metal Coating. Actually, we don't even need to do Emery. Or we don't even need to do Liquid Metal Coating. I will, though. And then we're going to exile the One Ring. Love a good Haywire Might. And then let's put this out, holding up holding up Fading Hope for Emery protection. And then also we can Retrofitter away an Ornithopter too. Even through interaction that they hold up to, which is sick. Wonder what other things my opponent is going to be doing. Alright, Fading Hope. Karn is good. Karn is very good, actually. Fortunately, we're going to have to... We can't cast him yet, sadly. So after blockers, we will do the Retrofitter thing. Okay. Emery. Auto pay. Mill. And this will be Retrofitter, make a token, I think. I'll swing in. Try to bait in something for my opponent. Death Baron, okay. We're going to start saving up a board for when Karn comes down next turn. And I can't do that again, can I? Oh, I can make a flyer, I guess. Might as well. And that was stupid because now I take 3 damage and they gain 3 life. Well, silly me. Okay, so now we have Karn. I am considering Karn plussing, killing a land. What do I get out of the graveyard? Haywire Might's good. Haywire Might's pretty good, actually. I think I probably want that. So we'll do Haywire Might. I could actually just have gotten a Thopter. This way I have the option to still kill a land while I Karn minus for something.
You will not.
I'm thinking it's probably the One Ring. No attacks. We'll just eat something. Or, I mean, the construct is a good trade. We've got good material on board here. We just gotta maintain Karn's life total and start to do stuff. I can just straight up kill this. Okay. And I just need mana to do so. Okay. Botanical Sanctum is good. I can One Ring plus Haywire Might. So Haywire Might. I want to kill this before they get a draw on it. One Ring gives me protection, so all I got to do is keep Karn alive. Then we'll draw first. Oh, we have backup Karn. That's great. What do I want to take out of my sideboard?
My purpose is greater than myself.
Cosmos Elixir is good. It keeps us alive. Am I set up for a Paradox Engine yet? No, I'm not. Don't need another Liquid Metal Coating. Yeah, so I'll take Cosmos Elixir. So Emery can get a construct at the ready. We'll do that. I have no mana available, so it's not a Haywire Might turn. I mean, it could be if I do Mox Amber, but do I have anything that needs 1 mana? No, I don't. Okay, so let's not make it too complex. We'll play an Ornithopter. Alright, we have enough creatures able to block our opponent, so Karn will be able to plus next turn. I think now we just start killing their lands. They're up to 5, and that's when things could get bad for me. Okay, that sucks, but we can deal with it next turn. Okay, cool. They're not attacking for some reason. Resolves. Move to my turn. So this turn, wow, we just got a Haywire Might straight up. So we're going to Haywire, kill, open the graves. That's always happening. Now we take a land. Okay, and then we have backup Karn, or we can just play Cosmos Elixir, and we can draw 2 at the end of their turn. And now I think it's just going to be Ornithopter, make some more constructs, and eventually bury our opponent. It's kind of funny because while this format doesn't have... ooh, another Liquid Metal Coating? No. While this format doesn't have Urza Saga, which is just a construct machine, this kind of makes it feel like I'm playing a deck like that. Alright, so they get to draw out of the 1 ring. That's not really going to matter. See if they swing in yet. They're worried about losing their creatures, but they need to be attacking with Patient 0. Okay, so I'll draw and make a Retrofitter. Okay, and Outland Liberator is good, especially if they don't do anything. Haywire Might. Haywire Might. Haywire Might. Kill 1 ring, they'll draw. Oh, they decided to not even draw, they were just passing through. I want to get this out. Outland Liberator is going to be good. Here is Breeding Pool. Do I want to put that in tapped? You can just pay 2 life. I already have enough. Karn will plus. Oops. Karn will plus, but after I Liquid Metal a land. Alright. And we have our lock. Outland Liberator can kill something. It can also just start attacking and killing things. Yeah, this actually can start to deal with our opponent's board. 1, 2 blockers, so I'll keep 3 blockers around, put in 8 damage. They have to deal with this now, and now we got threats at all angles. Oh, right, I forgot that they had played the 1 ring. I dealt with it so fast that, forgot that it had even been there. We have a 1 ring of our own. And now my road to victory is just continue to 1 ring. We can deal with things with Outland Liberator and then use Retrofitter Foundry plus the looping of Ornithopters to deal our opponent lethal damage. They still don't attack. We'll draw. We want to keep our life total a little bit under Cosmos Elixir because I don't want to draw too much. 1 ring is already our draw spell of choice. Fading Hope can hold up for Emery. Yeah, I feel pretty solid about this. Okay, so how do I do this? Liquid Metal. We can Liquid Metal and kill 1 of Death Baron, Midnight Reaper, or Patient 0. I think their board is manageable as is, so I'm just going to continue Karn plussing. They do get a card out of it, sure. We will just do our Emery lock with Ornithopters, and we'll slowly make it to where we want to be. We can 1 ring look for another, what do you call it? Liquid Metal. Find Ornithopter and many Outland Liberators, that's good. So let's see. Haywire Might I would like out. We have 2 1 rings, 2 Karns, and a land, Fading Hope, and so I'm just going to play a bunch of Outland Liberators. We're going to go wide and kill them. 2 Ornithopters, those will be used for Foundry. I'll keep up a Fading Hope for Emery. Boom, boom, boom. That can go in. This is not flipped yet, so I can't kill anything. For attackers, it is. Eventually, they need to block. They kill 2 constructs. I still make 2 more, so this is net even for me. They kill 3. Okay, so they are getting a little bit more, but while they gain 3 cards, I have dealt with 3 creatures. I guess they can try to kill Emery. They're going to make treasures. They could have tried to kill something like my flyer. They're going to draw back up. And I'm going to just pressure their mana then. And make sure that I use the right color of mana. It doesn't matter. Alright. So they're on 2 mana. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Metallic Rebuke is not going to be necessary anymore. They don't have enough mana to cast stuff. Razor Lash Transmogrant. It comes back from the graveyard. 4 or more non-basic lands. We have 4. Okay, so this can come back for 6 mana. Once I kill it, though, it's fine. They may decide to attack if they want. I'm going to be killing that Transmogrant now. Kill that. And let's make some Thopters into constructs. Resolve Zol. Alright, it's our turn. We take some damage, it's fine. We are going to take one of their lands to make sure that they can't offer any sort of repercussions against me. Alright, let's move to combat. We get to swing in like so. I'm fine offering that trade. I'm going to Emery back an Ornithopter. They take it. Okay, and we finally did enough to them that they're down to get out of the game. Cool. This was a very well controlled control game. That was pretty refreshing to see. I really like this deck. It is pretty cool. I hope you guys are enjoying this. I keep saying that after every game, but it is true. This is a lot of fun to play. You feel very in control of your fate. Granted, I've lost a lot of games with this deck, but, you know, when you win, it feels like you did something to make that happen. Okay, we have our final round coming up. Let's try to end on a good one. We're in the final round here. Let's see how this game goes. Okay, so we get Mox Amber Haywire Might. That means that we get a Metallic Rebuke on turn 3. This is still not enough to get a Karn out. I'm going to try it. If we find an Emery, though, it's really good. Opponent's mulled quite a bit. I think that's twice so far. Okay, so they are staying. We get our Haywire Mat out to start last turn. A lot of people read Haywire Might. It's not a common card at this time. Oh, okay, so this is actually just Belcher. So that means I just hold Metallic Rebuke and they're gonna Belcher into that. Ooh, that means that I have to counter their Iron Crag, though. Okay, Haywire Might is still good for me, though. It's fine. We did actually rip an Emery. That's crazy. Okay, yeah, this is going to be a good game. So So that means that if we draw a land, it's a Karn right now, and they're done. This is okay. I don't mind. I'd rather have Emery stay alive. So liquid metal coating is not really an issue now. Do I have another Mox Amber in the graveyard? I don't. Well, I'll just get a Haywire Mite back then. Haywire Mite. Use the blue mana to pay for it. And hold up a Fading Hope. Reckless Handling. Sure, they're going to find it. Find their Belcher. There it is. And so that means that they took a Ironcrag Feet hand. So that means that I'm going to have to counter the Ironcrag Feet with Metallic Rebuke and then use Haywire Mite or something to kill the Belcher itself. Let's shock in. Life total doesn't matter here. Karn is a lock, potentially. You can get out a Ornithopter as well. Let's submit 0 here in case they have something that can deal 3 damage. I think these decks sometimes play Strangle. We are tapped out. They can kill an Emery. I think that's the least of their concerns right now, though. And yeah, that's it. We had this deck covered a multitude of ways with so much artifact and enchantment hate. I was not feeling remotely scared. Maybe this is the deck that's going to keep Belcher in check. Who knows? And yeah, with that pretty good game against Belcher, that brings us to the end of our series here. I hope that you guys enjoyed this deck. This is my current pet deck, and I'm spending a lot of time iterating on it. I hope that some of you guys will take a look at it and let me know what you think. If you can find other cards that slot in well to this archetype, I'd like to hear it. And if you play the deck and find really interesting play patterns, also happy to hear that kind of stuff. With that being said, that is the end of the series. I hope you guys enjoyed. You guys can show your support to the channel by liking this video. It helps out a lot with the YouTube algorithm. And if you would like to see more content from this channel, drop a subscribe. It means a lot. With that being said, I think I'm done here. A lot of cool things happened today, and we got to see a lot of cool things with this deck, including our One Ring, and I think that's the only new card if I remember correctly. Anyway, super cool deck. Give it a try. Hope you enjoy it, and have a good one. Peace out.